Hi, I'm Tim the Milkman, and you're watching Hot Rod Madness.
Welcome to Hot Rod Madness, where we believe that every car has a story. Whether your car is a ground-pounding, tire-smoking street machine or a trophy-winning classic with blinding chrome and paint, Hot Rod Madness wants to hear your story. Who knows? Maybe your story will inspire future generations to dream, build, and own their own classic rides. Here to bring you those stories is the host of Hot Rod Madness, Tim the Milkman, along with the Hot Rod Madness crew.
Hey, welcome back to Hot Rod Madness. This week we're at Park in the Park in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm standing here with the two gentlemen responsible for the car show today in the park, Bob and Richard. Bob, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
This is a cool event you got going on here, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm looking at some really cool classic cars, some hot rods. They're scattered all around the lake, man. Tell us, how many years have you been putting this on?
We've been doing this now for 7 years here, and
Okay.
we do it mainly to benefit some children's charities that we work with.
Yes, sir. I'm sure those kids appreciate what y'all guys are doing up here, man. That's Richard. He's kind of over the park here, isn't he?
Well, Richard's on several board of directors for the different projects in the city of Birmingham, and that's a great thing because he helps with, he handles that stuff, and I go out all year long promoting it, bringing in the cars, and making other car shows and cruise nights, and inviting the guys to come in, and then we have a great bunch that has turned out and everything. It's a beautiful scenery behind us, as you can see.
Beautiful people and a beautiful scenery, man.
Yeah, got a lot of nice cars here.
Nice place to have a show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got one question for you.
Okay.
When you first started, the first show you did, how many cars showed up?
79.
He's saying 79. Okay. All right, Richard. Now, what kind of hand you got into throwing this event, Richard?
Well, I'm with Avondale Forest Park Merchants. I'm on the board of Rev Birmingham, which is the revitalization of Birmingham. Love cars. Great cars come every year. They support us, and we promote our area, back our kids, back our nonprofits this year.
Okay.
But our main goal is to promote the Avondale Forest Park area.
Avondale Park. There you have it, folks. Now we're going to go around and look at some really cool cars and meet some wonderful people. All right. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks for
being
having
here.
us.
Appreciate it.
Edgar, how are you, sir?
Good to meet you.
All right, man. Couldn't help but notice the Eldorado sitting here, buddy. And I heard a rumor this was Best in Show last year.
That is correct. We won Best of Show last year with this car right here. Yeah, it's a 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Baritz. Kind of a one-off. We started this project about 7 years ago. What we did to the car is we totally restored the car from top to bottom. Okay.
All right.
You're looking at, in the engine bay is an LS3 Corvette motor with transmission from a Corvette and also brakes from a Corvette.
Wow.
The color is a very unusual color. Actually, a lot of people think it's the original Bahama blue. It is not. It is actually a Ferrari color. The color is called Azzurro California.
Okay.
It popped, has a lot of metallic in it, and we love the color combination with the chrome, so that's what we decided to go with on this car.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of questions I gotta ask.
Go ahead, yes.
Looking at this power plant, man. First question, right off the bat, the first thing I see is how close the engine cover is to the firewall.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
This
here's
thing's
what
got to be balanced quite well.
It is.
To sit and idle and not hit that
It's
firewall.
actually a very, very interesting story here. I couldn't find the correct engine cover that I was looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I said, I'm going to have to make one. And the whole car, if you look at it, is tolerances. I loved everything to be really, really hidden, and I loved everything to be really close in specs.
Yes, sir.
So what I did is, after designing one, I actually made it a little bit longer and cut it back. I kept cutting it back to where I liked it.
Yeah.
And where it ended up, I liked it a lot. And the way I locked it down, I knew it wasn't going to move because the motor mounts, I built custom motor mounts because at the time, no one was offering motor mounts to fit this LS and this Cadillac.
Yes, sir.
So I built custom motor mounts, and they were solid motor mounts, so I knew the engine wouldn't move that much. And the way I attached it to the motor is I actually had strong earth magnets. I have 4 points on each corner, and so it's real easy to remove, and when you're trying to find where it goes, it just kind of snaps down and hooks on its own. So it's an easy guide down. Yep, and it doesn't move a lot.
It's held on with magnets.
It's held on with strong magnets, yeah. Wow. So it's nice.
Okay. Sure. All right, I don't think I've ever heard that before. That's quite unique.
No, a lot of people tell me that. They're like, I've never heard the magnet thing. I was like, hey, it works great.
Hey, if it works, there you go.
Absolutely.
Man. So the heat and all that won't dissipate
does
the
not
magnets?
affect it. No,
won't mess with it?
Not at all. Not at all. And actually,
nice.
Under the the vents that you see here, all the way across, I added that little touch just to give it an old kind of a rat rod look, kind of give it some breathing off the engine. And there's also LED lights there that glow at night. Okay. Gives it a nice soft touch at night.
All right. When you say rat rod, man, I'm going, man, there ain't nothing rat rod about this car.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
That's a phenomenal build. You can look at it and tell.
I appreciate
it. Exceptionally clean under the hood, just smooth as can be.
That's what I was going for. Wanted a really clean car.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I thank you. It took a lot of time and a lot of hard work, and it wasn't just me. I had another guy help me too. All right. And it was we enjoyed it.
I'm going. Wow, the talent, man, that goes into this.
I appreciate it.
Let's look at the interior now,
Sure,
man.
No problem.
I mean, it's so sleek, and this is not just your ordinary Cadillac. This is an Eldorado.
It's an Eldorado Barrett. So at the time in 1957, this was the top of the line Cadillac.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So we're talking, it had every option, everything you could possibly imagine, power, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even the windows right here are power. It's got a 6-way power seat. So it's got 4 individual motors underneath the seat that could control the seat forward, back, aft, and everything like that. And those were all had to been rebuilt. The interior is a custom interior, so we did want to match as close as we could to the exterior of the car with the white balancing, and so the steering wheel was matched and everything like that.
When you're cruising down the road in this, man, you're reeking American styling, buddy. That is just awesome.
I love it, and that's one of the looks we were going for. And I've always been a car guy, and this to me is just the top of the line for Chevy back in the day. And I'm like, man, you cannot beat a '57 Cadillac. I said it's just king of the road to me, and I absolutely loved it.
Yes, sir. That thing's beautiful, man. Love it, man. The fins on the back, that says Cadillac.
It does. It absolutely does. And like I said, it was to get the body work the way it was and all that. I mean, we're talking countless hours of sanding to get the correct balance, so there wasn't any lines or waves in the paint. Just
man.
A lot of hours.
I'm just standing right here at that big old long quarter panel, looking down the side of it, man. You don't see any flaws. I mean, that thing's just as straight and beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Wow.
I appreciate it.
How about that? You want to load that thing up with a bunch of hot chicks and go cruising around and do some parades and weddings?
Exactly. Actually, that's what this is right here. This is called a parade boot.
Gotcha.
This came on '57 Cadillacs as an option. What it's just a fiberglass cover, and it was the parade boot covered your convertible top. It snaps in all the way around, and what it does is this is reinforced fiberglass, so people would actually sit here so you could have the parades in the car.
Right. So the rag top, is it white in color?
No, actually the rag top is actually, we went to Mercedes, believe it or not. It's a cloth, dark blue cloth Mercedes material, and that's what the car is. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a cloth top, and it's beautiful.
Nice, man. Wow, you do a great job, dude.
Appreciate it.
And you also got a GT 500 Mustang sitting right behind it.
I do.
Let's look at this thing, man.
Let's take a look at this one.
Wow. All right. What year is it?
This is a 1967 GT 500. This is the only year that Ford did the dual quad in the Shelby.
And very sought after. I've had people ask me, where I can find a 67? No, not really.
This car actually is very, very good. It's a 50,000 mile original mile car. It has been repainted. But the interior, drivetrain, transmission, and rear end have never been taken apart. So it is a really, really good car. And it is a 4-speed.
How about that?
Yeah, and it's strong, really, really strong. Absolutely enjoy a Shelby GT 500 any day.
Okay. You guys are partial to the color blue, I see.
Yeah, we are. Believe it or not, we're big fans of the blue color. This one's called Brittany Blue with a Wimbledon white interior. Now, what's rare about this color combination is in 1967, only 49 Shelby were made in this color combination. So this is actually a rare color combination to have the Brittany Blue with the white interior. Nice. And it being a 4-speed actually makes it a little bit more rare in that color combination. Yeah. So there you go.
But it's fun to drive too.
Oh, it's an absolute blast to drive. I mean, it'll get every gear, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Get a lot of attention as well.
It does. People love this car, and I think the color combination has a lot to do with it, actually. You know, you do see.
It is a rare color.
It is a rare color. You're right. You're right. You're right.
How about that?
And I love it. It's still, you know, all the originality is all here, so it's a lot of fun.
You guys live in Birmingham here?
We do. We have a shop in the Birmingham area.
Okay.
And so we restore them, we take care of them, and we drive them.
All right.
And that's the key to me. You know,
man, you gotta get in it and drive it around.
You got to get in and drive it around. No matter how rare it is, you got to get in it and drive it around.
Enjoy those hot rods.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
Man, I appreciate you showing your ride on Hot Rod Madness today, buddy.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you again. Hey, Joe, how are you, sir? Shake my hand, man.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good.
I'm out here looking at some beautiful rides today, Joe. Can't walk past a Buick like this and not ask any questions, man.
Sure.
What year is that?
1955 Buick Super.
55 Super. Wow, that thing looks all original, Joe. I'm looking at a all original engine in this thing.
Right.
Original equipment, original parts all over it. Wow, it's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
How long have you had it?
About a year and a half.
Okay. You a Buick man too,
I'm
ain't
a
you?
Buick man.
Yeah, I see. The Super, that's the loaded version, right?
Well, no, the Roadmaster is a loaded version.
Okay.
This is right under the Roadmaster.
All right, gotcha. So maybe you had one of these back in your day and you had to have another
My
one.
father had them.
Yeah.
Buicks, that's right.
Yeah. Man, you're living the dream, ain't you, sir?
I really am. I really am.
Are you a local from around here?
I'm local.
Okay.
Back from Birmingham.
All right, Joe. Love to see the Buicks, man. Especially one of this restoration caliber here.
Thank you. We've done quite a bit of work to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But we enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, man. When you cruise down the road in this thing, man, you just waving to the crowds with a big old smile.
I am.
Excellent, man. How big's that motor?
It's a 322 Buick Nailhead.
Nailhead.
Called Buick Nailhead.
All righty,
That's
sir.
right.
And she purrs like a kitten?
It purrs like a kitten. Runs very nice.
Yeah.
It sure does.
Nice and smooth.
Right.
Man, that is super cool. I guess that's why they called them Supers.
Right.
Well, I always love the body styling of these things. There's some unique features on the Buick that you just can't walk by it and not look at it and go, man, what styling. Oh yeah, he's got the loaded drive-in restaurant food tray here on the window. Is this what you would normally have if you went to the drive-in?
Drive-in theater. Sure, you have popcorn, you know, loudspeaker.
Yeah. Man,
Lights off.
yes, sir. I'm looking at the interior one, man. That red and black looks great on this car.
It's all original fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Not the original, but I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
I could imagine what it's like riding around in this thing, man.
Very
Beautiful, yeah.
quiet. Yeah, it is. Even though it's old, it's
Sweet old ride. Well, Joe, I appreciate you showing your ride today, buddy.
You're quite welcome.
All right, man.
Hi, I'm Sonny McLean, producer of the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels Custom Auto Show, and you're watching Hot Rod Madness.
Rob, how you doing, sir?
I'm thirsty for milk whenever I see you.
Well, I tell you what, I ran out of milk on the back of the truck. However, I'm just kidding, man. I'm in the wagon. I got no milk.
Oh, you need some chocolate milk for the kids.
Chocolate milk.
There you go.
I tell you what, you find me a chocolate cow, man, and we'll drum up some chocolate milk, man.
Okay.
Rob couldn't help but notice the Packard.
Yeah, she's 51, and you notice down there her name is Ruby, and that has to do with her color.
That matches the
Yeah,
color.
Yeah. So she's, as you see on my sign here, one of 2,572 made back in 51.
All right.
How many survive, we don't know, but she's a great survivor. She's a wonderful rust-free original car. Like a lot of these cars you'll see here have different engines than they came with. This is the original straight 8, 150 horsepower, 327 cubic inch straight 8. It's a fabulous car. It runs smoothly, rides smoothly. That's the way it was designed. They have huge leaf springs in the back. Has the Ultramatic transmission, which was far advanced for its age, much more smoother than the General Motors automatic at that time.
Okay.
It was just really a fabulous car. I'll point out the biggest mistake people make about this car is the most photographed part, and that is the hood ornament. That is a cormorant. The bird is a cormorant. Everybody says nice swan or goose. It's a cormorant, and it's part of the Packard family crest. On the back of this car, on the Packard insignia, you'll see a cormorant feeding 3 little dots. That's the cormorant feeding her young. So if you ever see a Packard and you can look at the emblems, you'll notice the cormorant feeding her young, and that's what that is.
Love the knowledge on these cars. Love to talk to the owners.
Yeah, well, it's and another thing, I have a 1951 ad from a magazine for the Packard, and I have that there for a couple of reasons. People always say to me, well, that cormorant didn't come on that car, and I point to the 1951 ad with the cormorant. This model 51 did indeed have the cormorant. Then the louvers on the back, people confuse it with the Buick because the Buicks were up front on this fender.
Yeah.
On the Packard, they came in the back, and then people will tell me that they didn't come originally on this car. Again, I point to the ad and say, please tell me how this happened in 1951, coming out of the factory. But we love the car's originality. The only thing that's really not original is the interior. These cars came with a leather interior, and I'll tell you why it's different. I found the owner, 2 owners before me on Facebook, and he knew that a guy before him who had had the car for many, many years, he was a guy who bought the car and didn't want the sticky, hot leather seats. So he changed out to this velour interior, and they did a nice job. They did the chrome pieces inside, the same sweeping lines that they came with the leather seats. And so that was just the owner's choice, and that's the way it is, and that's the way I'm going to keep it. So.
Well, all right, Rob, you probably answered every question I had right there. The louvers on the back all the points on this thing.
Everything on this car works except for the clock, which we're working on because I have another instrument cluster we're going to put in, and so we get the clock going because the radio works. I took it out when I first bought the car. I bought it in October of 14, and the radio did not work. And I took it over to Rickwood Radio in Birmingham, and he said, this is one of the cleanest dust-free radios I've ever seen.
Wow.
And everything worked, just the vibrator just needed a little kick, and the radio started working. And so the radio works, and I love at night driving this car with that radio on and the glove on the dashboard.
I can imagine.
It's fantastic. And
I want to see the motor, man.
I'll open it. And this guy here, Donald Lacconi, is my mechanic, and he's largely responsible for all the restoration we've done on it, all the mechanical work, which has been substantial. We started with when the car was brought in from Charlotte on a trailer.
Yeah.
Donald was at my house, and the thing sputtered, and he took off the fuel line and said, oh my God, this fuel is looking like some sort of devil's fuel. So that's the first thing we had to do is replace the fuel tank on it. But I'll show you the engine.
Okay, let's look at the engine. Let's see what kind of work you do. Well, we kind of already know, but
well, what we've had to,
it does look all original.
We've replaced the radiator needed work. We had a new generator, voltage regulator, wiper motor. Donald, we had a starting problem with it, and Donald figured out what that was, and he could explain it better than I could, but he's the one who fixed it with some other parts.
Switch on the carburetor, so when you crank up the car, you turn the key on, push the gas pedal to the floor. And he was at the station one day, and he came in, he pulled the car in the rack. I said, we need to move it up a little bit. When he got in, turned the key on, pushed the pedal to the floor, nothing happened. We could jump it, he'd crank it fine. And so we just had to replace the switch and got him back going again. So.
Now, would that be the original air cleaner on this thing? It reaches all the way to the other side of the engine.
Oil bath air cleaner. And it is a 6-volt system, which we're going to keep. We're not going to try to change things out and put on electric fans. It actually stays very cool with this all the original fan and everything. And it's just it's what guys long for when they try to work on cars today.
Yeah,
because there's no computers in here. It's pretty straightforward, and I'm learning from Donald what everything is on here, and once it's the way it used to be. It's just fun.
Now on these particular rides, would that be the VIN number on the dash there?
Isn't that a model number?
Model number.
Packard stamped that body number into every one of their bodies. I forget when they started, but they took it all the way till the end, to 1956.
Okay.
And it's unique to the car.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was ever a record kept of it. There's a gentleman up in New Jersey who's keeping up with all those numbers. If you send it to him, he's got but the actual VIN number's on the doorpost inside the door.
So that tells me right there that when the cars were designed, man, they were thinking these cars are going to be highly sought after. They're going to be the most luxurious cars ever. Let's put an anti-theft number on it.
It's pretty smart of them.
How about that?
And I'll tell you something else that's interesting. Back in the early Packard days, there were in the early days, the cars started being manufactured in 1899, if I'm correct, Donald. Okay. But but they were having a hard time keeping up with demand, and people were asking for brochures about the automobile. And apparently the guys at the factory just said, ask the man who owns one. We don't need a brochure, just ask the man. And that became their slogan they carried to the end.
Yeah.
And that slogan appears on the VIN plate on the door. It says Packard
cool.
Motor Company, Detroit, Michigan, with the information, the VIN number, and that slogan is on there.
I've seen it on floor mats too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fellas, thanks for the history lesson. We appreciate you, sir. Thanks for keeping them alive,
now
man.
Get some chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk
on ice and pass it out to all the people.
Chocolate milk. All right. Have a good one, man.
You too. Thank
All
you.
right. Vinny, man, what's going on, buddy?
Good. How you doing, man?
All right, I'm doing great. I'm at
Good
a car
day.
show, man.
That's right.
And I run up on guys like you that build them.
Yes, sir.
God,
We do.
Got to
Little
come
bit
over and
everything.
ask. Yeah, this is cool, man. Super cool. Little T-bucket.
It is. It's a 23 Roadster. We built for a local guy named Mike Perry and his son. We built it fairly quick. Me and Moon, guy works with me.
Okay.
And a lot of the car is, a lot of stuff's hand built. It's got a bunch of small details. The car was built to be shown inside ISCA, so it's actually built to be viewed at from the bottom also.
Gotcha.
So and we like to joke around and say that I think the nicest part of the car is underneath what you don't see.
Yep, I'm looking at the frame going, wow, that's some highly finished
Right.
framework you got going on there, buddy.
My favorite piece of paint on is the transmission, which you don't see.
Oh, yeah.
But it's painted just like the body. The block has been slicked, no casting marks, no nothing.
Okay, let me get around here. I want to look at it, see what I can see. Okay. And the transmission is painted it's the same color as the engine and the body.
Also gloss, yes, sir. It's
Everything?
all been bodywork, just like everything. The heads, the block itself, the intake's also been smooth. The water pump, everything that can be smooth has been smooth and painted. Same thing with the rear end, drive shaft, the U joints, even the brake lines are all symmetrical, polished. And then we hand fabbed a lot of pieces on it, like the grill, the radiator, the fan shroud, all the tubes for the radiator fluid, all that stuff we made from scratch. Still has a pressure cap underneath the grill because you've got to be able to drive the thing, obviously.
Man, you gotta love people's knowledge and their talent for building this stuff, man. This is cool.
It's getting harder for sure. People are getting better and better at it, so you got to keep above the time.
Yeah, a lot of technology coming up, man, to where sky's the limit. I mean, you start building something like this, there's no telling what you'll come up with next.
Right, without a doubt.
Every build you try to top yourself, correct?
That's without a doubt. We always say the next one's always the best one, so.
Good. Can you sponsor our show? I drop my truck off and you rebuild the whole thing and make it look like this?
Depends what kind of truck you got.
I'm playing, man. Anyways, hey, if you ever did take me up on the offer, never mind. Anyways, I'm looking at some nice chrome pieces on this thing. The wheels, man, there's some old Steelies there, man. That's just regular old steel wheels that you chromed, right?
The tires are old dirt track tires, the front are tractor tires, basically. Yeah. They're all made by Coker, which they're new, and they're made safe to actually, to drive on the road. Yeah. All the suspension parts are original 36 Ford. We actually drilled and welded all the holes in, and most people buy them that way, but he wanted all original parts, so we did that. Wow. And then we built the chassis, the dashboard, a lot of stuff, the firewall. We actually made the posts that hold the windshield up to, moon machine, the end caps. Man, they're normally real tall. We made them a lot shorter. We wanted it to be different.
Yeah, that's nice, dude. Dude, y'all do some fantastic work, man. I'm just looking at the rear end here, man. I'm going, wow.
Well, every nut and bolt's polished stainless. Everyone's been hand sanded because they all got a little. They're always cast. They got a little bit of like some nicks in them, so they're all hand sanded, hand polished, and there's no visible threads. Everything's got an acorn nut on it. Sorry. And then there's no visible welds on the whole car except for on the headers, which we left. So everything's been smoothed out, like I said, for attention to detail, obviously. That's what makes them nice, is when you do that.
Oh yeah, the detail is just makes the whole thing, man, when you're trying to show it like that. You do much shopping at the Speedway?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah, Speedway definitely knows us well.
Yes.
What's funny about this car is
I can tell.
we built this guy two more, and this one is. Some people ask us why didn't we run a flathead or a quick change rear end, because this is all parts that he had left over from other builds. So it was intended to be a quick put together, and then what happened is we smoothed the transmission in the block, and then we had to make everything else nice to fit it. Yeah. So then we started, changing this, and so forth.
Started the whole thing, didn't it?
Parts and said, let's put it all together and make a car. And this is what it turned into.
Yeah, let's smooth the whole thing. That's what happened, didn't it?
That's exactly what happened. It got out of hand, which is what we like that, obviously, when they get out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's all BASF paint.
Okay, where's your shop located, man?
It's in Alabaster, Alabama, not far from here.
All right, cool.
We do everything from these to street rods, to hot rods, muscle cars.
Yes, sir.
A lot of anything, basically. But yeah, we can definitely get it handled if somebody needs something done.
Man, you guys are officially invited to our cruise in out at Streetside Classics in Georgia.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll make a showing of it for sure.
Okay. Wow, that's sweet. One last question on this little hot rod. Have you drove it around a little bit yet?
We have. The only thing we haven't done is interstate.
Yeah.
I don't like driving these on the interstate. They make me nervous. But yeah, local stuff for sure. What he's done is he toured the circuit, did all the indoor stuff, obviously all the showing. Yep. Then after it's done winning all that it's going to win, then you start obviously to drive them, which is what most of our customers do. Okay. So they get them built, they show them for a little while, and then they start abusing them, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah,
at some point,
for sure.
man, if you spend all that time on that, at some point in time, you want to go enjoy it.
Right.
I would.
No, without a doubt. And they're durable. They're made to drive, regardless of the detail. They're made to drive. So.
All right, dude. Well, I appreciate you showing your ride on Hot Rod Madness today.
Yes, sir.
And what's the name of your shop?
It's Vinny's Hot Rods in Alabaster, Alabama.
Vinny's Hot Rods in Alabaster, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Yes, sir.